All right, let's get this show started. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for our annual Black Friday Cyber Monday strategy session. I'm Lillian Lee. I'm VP of Digital Marketing and Strategy at FEVO. I'll be hosting and kind of interjecting here and there for this session. We got a jam-packed webinar today and lots of great guests and takeaways for the upcoming holiday season. So let's just dive into it. If you want to jump into the next slide, this is kind of like our overall agenda for this session. We'll talk about this year's promotions and highlights, some best practices from our partners in FEVO, and then we'll round out with some general digital marketing best practices and Q&A. Cool. I'm going to kick it over to our panel. I would love for y'all to do a quick round of introductions. Marcus, why don't you kick it off?
Take two. All right.
There we go.
There we go. Marcus Madlock with Learfield, specifically in our ticket solutions business. I am the central regional manager where I work with 8 to 9 university partners here with Learfield. Last 4 years, I worked specifically as a general manager at the University of Oklahoma with also some background experience on the pro sports side, NBA, NFL, and the likes. And so thank you, FEVO tribe, for welcoming me and allowing me the opportunity to showcase some of the things that we've done at Oklahoma and within Learfield.
That's how I know you're OG, Marcus. Anthony, how about you? Where, I mean, who are you? What do you do, et cetera, et cetera? Hey, Anthony, you there?
I am having some computer issues.
Oh, no worries, no worries. We can kick it over to Jess and come back if that's cool.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay,
Thank
cool.
you.
Jess, why don't you take it away?
Perfect, thanks. Hi, everyone. My name is Jessica Ching. I'm the Director of Digital Commerce and Marketing Strategy at Gartner, a large market research and advisory firm. I specifically work with our clients across industries, regions to identify best practices across digital, anything from site, app, e-commerce, email, social media, you name it, to really refine their digital marketing strategies. So really excited to be here today.
Thanks, Jess. Really appreciate you joining us. Jess is going to come through and drop a lot of knowledge on us. So I'm super excited you're here. I'm Lillian Lee, like I said, VP of Digital Marketing and Strategy at FEVO. I run webinars, among other things, but mainly I oversee our internal digital efforts and a lot of our client marketing services as well. So cool. I'm going to hand things back over to Jess for a few quick insights.
Thanks, Lillian, so much. So just wanted to set the stage here by giving you a sense for how consumers really plan to spend on holiday gifting with information coming out of our broader Gartner consumer community. So we asked shoppers how much they plan to spend on winter holiday gifts this year in 2021 compared to 2020. And overwhelmingly, just across the board, regardless of income level, we see the vast majority of consumers plan to spend actually the same amount on holiday gifts in 2021 versus 2020, roughly, anywhere from a quarter to a third, spending less in 2021 versus 2020, and actually still a fair chunk there planning to spend a little bit more in 2021 than last year in 2020. And so we actually asked the same cohort of survey respondents in our Gartner consumer community exactly when they plan to start their holiday shopping this year. So the majority of consumers start their holiday shopping approximately 1 month prior to the winter holidays. About a quarter of consumers claim that they're actually always on the lookout for winter holiday gifts throughout the year, and about that same share who actually start planning around this time or about 2 months prior to the winter holiday season. So really just emphasizes the importance for brands and managers to really start implementing and strategizing for the holiday season in the month of October, if not honestly earlier than that. When we really start to dig deeper into gifting categories that are rising or declining in popularity, we start to notice actually some disparity in year-over-year interest in key product categories. So again, surveying our same consumer community, really looking at the share of respondents who plan to purchase holiday gifts in different categories. Of course, the most popular, regardless of year, are going to be gift cards and apparel and accessories. But actually, both categories have actually decreased in popularity slightly in 2021 versus last year, 2020. And one of the biggest areas of growth is actually within experiences. So experiences seeing the category with the highest increase coming from, whether that's trips or concert tickets, outing expenses, really up dramatically in those who plan to purchase gifts in this category in 2021. So really highlights that opportunity for you to capitalize on that increased interest and really ensuring that your holiday strategies can cater and capture those shoppers appropriately.
Yeah, I love that, Jess. Thanks so much for sharing. I think we've got a lot of great, supporting points to show throughout this webinar that speak to just that. Like, how do we get in front of these different cohorts and different household kind of brackets? How do we get ahead of the planning season? And, we made a joke the other day. It was like, it's not even October, it's not even Halloween yet. And we're kind of getting into the holiday season already. So, attending this webinar is a great way to get ahead and how to enhance the overall experience with, reward bundles or, influencer marketing and things like that. So thank you for affirming us with those stats. I wanted to kind of dig into some of our FEVO offers, and Marcus, if you would be so kind as to kind of detail what we did last year together and how, those learnings kind of translated into this year's holiday promotion for you guys.
Cool. So what we have here, thank you again, Lillian. What we have here is we have two offers, and I'll talk about these two, and then I'll scope out and talk about the larger offerings. But we have one for an upcoming game that was just after Cyber Monday around women's basketball, and it was a $20 ticket. Again, this was a savings off of the face value. And we typically at Oklahoma try to stay around the neighborhood of about 20 to 25% from a savings standpoint, just so that we can show some value and be competitive in the Cyber Weekend, Black Friday, Cyber Monday market. There's also one that's a holiday package. And the holiday package for women's basketball included multiple games, as well as some men's basketball. So it was a holiday hoops package in which men's basketball and women's basketball was marketed together. And it allowed the basketball fanatic in the greater Oklahoma City market. And we also had some people to purchase it outside of the market for family and friends that were in market that they knew were basketball fans to get a substantial discount offer for a package of men's and women's basketball games. The greater offering extended beyond women's basketball and men's basketball. There are approximately 9 sports that were a part of this, even including football. So we were actually selling a football game in November, December for the fall of this year, 2021. There was also one that was at $600, going back to the experience that Jessica was talking about. It not only included tickets, but there was one that had an autographed helmet. There was one that had an autographed football from Lincoln Riley. And we sold 6 to 8 of those. I can't remember the exact number, but to know that those items that we did receive from our coach and those that participated in signing, all of them were sold. And so it goes back to the point that Jessica was making. The experience is what our people are after. With regards to the promotional tactics, we were not afraid to be bullish. And what I mean by that is, right now, as Lillian mentioned, we're receiving emails about Black Friday and Cyber Week, and we haven't even gotten to Halloween. And so at Oklahoma, what we were able to do is there was a message that went out to the entire athletic database about these offerings. And then we were strategic. The basketball group got the men's basketball message, the women's basketball group got the women's basketball message. And each of those databases for the respective packages receive multiple messages from the Friday before Black Friday through Monday morning on Cyber Monday. So if you are being less than aggressive during that time frame, your message will not be at the top of inboxes like that of Best Buy, Walmart, Amazon, Fanatics. So do not be bullish. Do not be afraid to be bullish. And the same approach is going to be taken for this upcoming Cyber Weekend, Black Friday, and Cyber Monday. We're going to tweak it a little bit because we saw that there was an appetite for a $600 package. The goal is to potentially have something very similar.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, in general, you've seen a bunch of best practices across your different kind of positions over the past, few years and stuff. Like, so from a promotional standpoint, from a holiday sales season standpoint, what advice are you giving to your schools in the region that now you oversee? Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. Start now if you haven't already started. I was in a meeting prior to jumping on today, and there are some schools that have already started. And so if you have not started, start now. Do not be afraid to press the envelope. This is a time right now, this time of the year is when a lot of people are spending money. It's a habit. It's something that they're used to doing. Do not miss out on this opportunity. That's what I'm sharing, as well as some of the best practices that are happening within our partners, within the Learfield family, but also some of the best practices that you guys are bringing to the table and sharing with us as well.
Love that. Thanks, Marcus.
You're welcome.
I think now that we have Anthony back on, I would love to kick it back to you, sir, to talk through the offer and especially what you're planning on doing for this upcoming season.
Sure. Anthony Horton, Executive Vice President of Ticket Sales and Strategy here with the Arizona Coyotes. Sorry for the difficulty with the internet connection, but hope you guys hear me. I'm back. But during the pandemic, we wanted to capitalize on a strategy that allowed fans to take advantage of Black Friday. So we wanted to have flexibility. Also, as they mentioned, bundle some of our cool merch that we wanted to bring out to our fans. One of the cool things that we wanted to do is kind of tease our Kachina rebrand that we are fully in of the 21-22 season. So we worked with our merchandising partner, Legends, to create an offer that allowed us to bundle 2 flexible tickets that's either redeemable if we would start the season in 2021, or you can redeem it in 21-22 for selected games. This really went really well. We sold out of hats. So for our perspective, in one day for the Black Friday, this was very, very successful. So the 2 things that we wanted to focus on, again, from a strategy perspective, is how do we, get people to, utilize Black Friday and purchase a plan with us, and giving them the flexibility without understanding, what the future holds, for future games during the pandemic. So to us, it was very successful. We used that dedicated email blast. We had the dedicated website page, and then we had some paid advertisement behind it. So we sold a total of 468, bundled package tickets, 2 upper level, 2 lower level, and you can pick the choice, right? The flexibility was really cool. And we got to see which hats moved faster. And it seemed like the Kachina hats sold a little bit quicker than the Coyote had. And also just kind of resonated with us that we're going in the right direction, with our rebrand from a merch perspective. So this year, in 2021, we plan on doing a hat trick package, where it'll be 3 games that we have selected from January on. And then we're working with our marketing department and also our corporate partnerships department and having really unique hats that'll be giveaways for that night, but you have the first opportunity to purchase them. Really focusing on theme nights and getting that merch first before entering the game. So it'll be a really great offer. It'll be 3 ticket pack with 3 different unique hats with limited selection. So we're really excited to get that done and start launching that. So we saw the craze for hats and putting that into a bundle, and they're great gifts. So you can either gift the hat or gift the tickets or put it all in one. So that's what we plan on doing for the 2021 season. So it's been really incredible for us to kind of see the outcome during the pandemic, and now that we have games and know what we want to drive people to use that as a leverage piece.
For sure. Yeah, I love that, because I know COVID was and is terrible for our industry, but I think it forced us to be very creative in what we're offering, right? Like if we don't have a season and we got to make some money, what are we doing to engage our fan base and keep them warm for the year, right? Figuratively and literally with the beanies. But yeah, no, I love that. Definitely look towards merch, look towards enhancing your experience, look towards your non-traditional ticket offers like deposits and wrapping up seasons in the future, or wrapping them in for seasons in the future. That's great. Thanks, Anthony.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm going to grab the mic for a bit now for stretch, and I'm going to go over some offer highlights and best practices from a FEVO perspective. If you, Mike, want to jump to the agenda real quick, we're going to go over a few things that you can start to layer into your offer. We're going to touch on some marketing services that we have in-house to help our teams and our partners add to their marketing and sales mix. And then I'm going to bring up Costco again, because it's an initiative that we rolled out this year and it's going gangbusters. And I'm going to highlight a few partners that are already in stores and selling. Cool. Awesome. So in our non-ticket offers, and I think we mentioned this a little bit earlier, Mike's talked about the Coyotes offer with beanies and wrapping up, deposits and bundles and merch offers. I think this is definitely going to be the new wave moving forward. It addresses the enhanced experience. It addresses kind of like an incentivized way to move your tickets. But you'll see here, in the screenshot, you'll see the Bucks 12-point club offer and the Formula One Grand Prix deposit. So those are 2 offers that went out that essentially, engage their fans, engage the database, and offer them something to look forward to in a way that didn't include your traditional ticket offer. So if you're looking to sell, bundles and packages for seasons that aren't on sale yet, if you're looking to move kind of like that traditional gifting inventory, like merch offers, FEVO is a great way to kind of host that stuff. The other big initiative this year we wanted to push is to help partners integrate reward incentives into their offers. I think it's a great way to enhance the overall experience, and think moreover, it's an extremely effective way to mobilize your fans to share with their friends. So in this scenario, we have The Hill Has Eyes. It's a haunted house experience. It's going on right now. But I want y'all to check out kind of the stats over here and the tiers that they have going on. For their 3 tiered rewards for the offer, The Hill Has Eyes incorporated a sponsor, in this case White Claw, into their rewards tiers. And one reason is to offset kind of costs for the event, or offset costs for the actual rewarding of it, but also to elevate that incentive offer. They're also incorporating merchandise. And lastly, they're offering kind of your standard dynamic pricing discounted tickets for their highest tier groups. And you'll see, 1 in 10 orders come from social sharing, and the largest crew grew to over 62 people. So they were, rolling large over there. The other one that I love showing is the one for Austin City Limits. I'm based in Austin, it's kind of like close to home. But C3 presents Launch Fest with Friends at Austin City Limits Music Festival. FEVO powered their incentivized rewards and social sales. They offered a variety of rewards, such as group name shout outs on the festival stage jumbotrons, They did stylized group photos and exclusive access to lounges. And I love showcasing these rewards because it's such an easy, lightweight lift on the production team, but it provides this like massive value add for these experiences, right? So these fans are going to ACL, I think this is 2018, ACL 2018, and they're going to remember these things forever. And I was on site at this event, and I remember the largest group growing over 350 people because the group leader was, super jazzed about it and posted his link on Reddit. And it was just an incredible way to see that network effect start to kind of visualize. Great impact across the board, great stats across the board. But I want y'all to start thinking about how, going into the holiday season, and like Jess said, we're going towards experiences, going towards that non-traditional ticket offer, or how can we like elevate that experience across the board, start to layer in these reward incentives, especially for on-site experiences or on-site activations, start to layer in those sponsorships if they're available to you, and kind of create that more comprehensive from purchase to leaving the stadium type experience. The other thing we're rolling out as well, which I'm really excited about, is the influencer collaborations. It's just another outlet to explore that's perfect for this day and age. I know a lot of teams are looking to engage a younger demographic and just tap into kind of large networks, large impressions. But we worked with a few partners thus far to bring our network of influencers to the table so that these partners can reach their audiences. It's a great way to diversify your marketing tactics. It's also a great way to incorporate influencers into those on-site experiences. I think everyone is well aware that if there's a meet and greet going on with some TikTok influencers, you're going to get some younger fans out to the field. And in that kind of vein, getting them to experience the game and the kind of stadium atmosphere or arena atmosphere is a great way to kind of wrap that all up into one offer. This is our nerdiest slide, but probably the most important. I personally can't emphasize enough how important it is to prepare your tracking and analytics before your events. There's just so much left on the table if you're running paid media or you're looking to gain audience insights if we don't activate on your pixels and tracking. So for FEVO, we can accommodate the majority of custom scripts and conversion tags so that, if you're running Facebook ads, you know exactly how much money you're spending and how much that's converting and how much you're getting back in revenue. And then we also rolled out this year, and I think a lot of you guys are on right now, but we rolled out our enhanced integration with Google Analytics earlier this year that can push demographic kind of mobile device breakouts and e-commerce insights into your own GA property. So you'll see kind of this graph here, and I know data can be daunting, but I'm here to help. So please feel free to reach out on any of that stuff. Cool. So our last webinar covered our Costco initiative. As most of you hopefully know, we penned this partnership deal with Costco this year, and we're getting our partners in store and in front of Costco's highly valued members. And so you can see in these notes and these bullets that we're seeing some big successes with the pilots that we're launching. And you'll see like 40% of purchases being first-time buyers. You're reaching those coveted household income brackets of the higher spenders that are going to Costco in store to get those holiday packages and gifting inventories. So if you're interested in any of this stuff, we'd love to talk. I'm going to go through a couple examples of what our in-house designer is actually pushing out for some of our partners. So this is something that we've done for the Blues. It's a pretty seamless onboarding process, but Tram, Wynn, who's on our team, shout out to Tram, but she's great at designing these striking kind of cards and eye-catching in-store displays so that folks are, walking through a Costco and they pick up a card and they're like, yes, my friends would love a 2 pinnacle level seat package for $100 this season. And they'll take it to the cashier and check out, and we can claim those on FEVO. And it's a pretty seamless process there. Awesome. So we focus a ton on FEVO specific tactics in the ticketing world, but I'm going to hand it back over to Jess to share some digital marketing best practices from consumer brands outside of our space.
Perfect. Thanks, Lillian. So, some great examples from Lillian and Marcus on, actual deals, actual content, but how can you really derive, the most from your marketing channel mix to really break through the noise and reach your consumers, your shoppers with messaging? So, rounding out here with some best practices from, again, our Gartner research and advisory team. Our Gartner Digital Marketing Survey polls digital marketing leaders across industries, regions to really understand current and future digital marketing strategies, anything from anticipated challenges and responsibilities, where marketers' investments and initiatives are directed, as well as really techniques that they're using to support an effective cross-channel and multi-channel digital marketing strategy. So here, according to the survey, on average, the two most common channels used to not only support digital marketing strategy, but really the most effective channels at conversion to sales are social marketing. We can see here 65%, followed very closely by digital advertising at that 63%. So we'll go through a couple of ways and examples that we've seen brands execute effectively and successfully on each. Social media, of course, specifically plays an increasingly important role in consumers' lives as they get more intentional with their time on social platforms. In 2020, of course, purchasing products via social media has been especially popular with Gen Z. We've actually seen about 55% of who saw a brand's post and then made a subsequent purchase. Instagram, of course, we know is a visual only platform, but we've seen brands on Facebook also find success in the form of interactions from visual content. So really the bulk share of Facebook interactions across industries comes from visual posts, and specifically those within travel and hospitality lean into that content type, of course, and see success. Travel and hospitality brands in particular rely on a lesser used visual content type.
The Instagram to Facebook kind of insights where we're going more visual, going more video. I think we've got that. If you want to jump into email.
Okay, perfect. Perfect then. So we've actually seen this data before, but wanted to highlight, a still important and significant marketing channel, email. So again, we kind of reviewed some of those best practices within social. But again, here looking at the same digital marketing leader survey, marketers, across industries use email marketing to really support their digital marketing strategy, which makes it a top 3 response across channels. Really makes sense again here, considering some of that rich first-party customer data. This channel helps capture as well as some of the mid to lower funnel engagement opportunities that data affords as well. And an example here from out of category retailer here, Saks Fifth Avenue, that really again underscores the success of character length in that range, as well as activating your data, consumer personalization to really improve your email campaign performance. So you can see here 2 examples of Saks Fifth Avenue emails. They don't get much traction from the email on the left. We can see it's a very generic discount up to 75% off, sent to the majority, almost 70% of their email list. However, when they actually send an email with a specific product category reference, the email performs much better. So here on the right, sent to less than 1% of their total email list with a 50% open rate. In general, we've seen that emails need to, of course, lean primarily on relevant offers. Customers want you to really help them condense their path to purchase. And really, we've seen that relevance, personalization is the ultimate currency in this very crowded digital space.
Awesome. Thanks, Jess. Yeah, we typically push our partners to send out dedicated e-blasts. I know that email is a very coveted kind of channel, but it's definitely the highest converter, like you mentioned. And the more personalized we can get, even if it's just kind of injecting a first name of your fan into the email, even those little kind of nice touches, you get those clicks and your actions and your open rates a little higher, just a little higher. But thank you for touching on all of those channels, because I think for me, it's always more of a multi-channel approach, right? So your email is driving traffic to your website where your pixel lives. That's collecting audiences that you're feeding into your paid media, and you're creating this kind of advertising ecosystem or echo chamber of sorts. And that's definitely where I see the most success when people are launching kind of campaigns or promotional efforts for the holidays, definitely. So if you want to drop some questions into the chat, we'll kind of flow through them as they come in. I already have one about Costco, and if Costco is able to sell sports offers in their stores. And so the way that we work in relation to Costco is essentially we are like, they're our distribution partner, and we're able to funnel our clients or our partners and their offers into Costco and soon to be Costco.com. But what the kind of process is you're submitting an offer with a value add of 20% or more. Essentially, it's what do you have to offer to the Costco fan base? They're a very exclusive Costco membership fan database to get them to put you in stores. And from there, once that's approved, we get that artwork going. So the Mariners put together some voucher packages. We have some merch offers on the table as well. So it really can be kind of anything that you're looking to push out there. We're very careful to say that this is not a discount, and this is not kind of like distressed inventory. You're getting in front of highly kind of valuable cohort there, that bracket, that demographic that's spending high dollars when they're going in stores. So make sure that whatever you're putting out there is enticing. So anything else you want to chat through for teams? When is the best time to shift your focus from pushing season tickets to smaller holiday packages for the holidays? Is there a way to do both without overloading the consumer? I think we talked about a couple of these. Marcus, if you want to chat through kind of like that high-low mix, if you want to talk about what you're pushing out there. I know you're very bullish during the holiday season. Take it away.
Well, first of all, I think you can do them both because there is a perceived as well as actual savings and value by buying the season ticket. That's how we operate on the sports landscape, right? So you take that value and you can present that in that offer, whether you're selling that season ticket during that window of time actually right now, or you have that in the future. So if you actually have inventory that's live and you can put someone in an actual seat, by all means, add those offers to that. And there is going to be some operations and sales, someone pick up the phone, connecting with that consumer and buyer and taking them through the finish line and allocating their seats. So one, yes, you can do that, and there can be a healthy mix with live inventory. And if you don't have the live inventory, you can sell the price point and know that you have the inventory. And when that live inventory is ready, explain and share that information with the consumer and have them ready to go when that inventory is live and you can place them in actual seats. Very similar to what, as I share with you, we sell our very first football game at Oklahoma in that package. They're not actually buying a location, they're buying a value price that we've put out there that has that value during that Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Cyber Weekend opportunity, in which we go back to the consumer and we place them in a seat at a later time.
Yeah, for sure. I think I have a question from Aaron Paris, and this is a leading question, it feels, but for Marcus and Anthony, you guys both mentioned that higher value packages perform very well. Do you think that by having the higher end packages, it differentiates from the Black Friday traditional, slash prices? And then on to follow that in conjunction, does having a heavily discounted option also make sense in order to capture these two types of buyers?
I can, start with that one. I think, we talk about different cohorts. There's going to be consumers that, look for a discount. Again, there's going to be consumers that, want something a little bit more higher end. Now more than ever, you need variety, in your packages. As far as your team and how they sell, a lot of the packages that we create, especially for Black Friday, it's consumer driven, where it's a click and a buy. It's not necessarily your staff actually going out and selling that product. So for me, I think you need a good mixture. And we're going to be working with Costco soon. We're finalizing our Costco deal where I'm going to balance potentially 2 offers based on location and demographic for upper level, and then one for a lower level, and test and see which one works better. But I think from a value prop perspective, especially for Black Friday, you need something that, your regular consumer is going to just click and buy and get at, and then you can put them through the process later on as far as calling them back and see their interest level. So, it's all about, what your inventory is, how many, seats you have available, and then strategizing, what cohort you're going after. Us, it's more like, multicultural, it's Gen Z. So for us during that time, it was like hats. Like Gen Z loves hats, they love swag. So how do we, either get their parents to buy it or get them to buy something to get them into the game, to enjoy it, and then have our reps, follow up. But certain demographics, specifically for Costco, looking at certain areas in Phoenix, we feel that having a higher value play in a better location is going to work compared to others. So I think there's options when you're trying to strategize when it comes to ticketing.
Anthony hit the nail on the head. I can't follow up that. He hit.
Love that. Thank you, guys. No, it totally makes sense, right? Like everything's so fast paced right now. There's so many options. Like, how do we get in front of the fans? And I think it's more about like layout, right? Or traffic orchestration. How are we driving people through the options? Less than, are we sure that these are the options that we want to give? Like more options usually is better with gifting, right? Especially if you have that wide spread of needs across your fan base. Cool. Thank you guys for that. One question I wanted to flip to Jess. Are there vast differences being seen from in-market versus out-of-market shifts in social and digital marketing drive conversions?
Yeah, I can take this. So when we look at, again, the results of the survey from our digital marketing leaders, we're not necessarily analyzing the in-market versus out-of-market shifts when it comes to social and digital driving conversion, but I would say that a lot of that does come from how personalized and how targeted you can be in some of your marketing messaging mix. So a little of what we talked through with email marketing, I think applies the same way to social and digital. And obviously when it comes to a lot of social media, social commerce, how does that apply to different age cohorts? So I know we've been talking a lot about Gen Z. Gen Z obviously incredibly attuned to social media and therefore more likely to purchase from social media channels. So I think a lot of that is obviously driving and connecting that content to that commerce, which is a lot of the insights and recommendations that we deploy to a lot of our clients there. So we just ensure a lot of that is kind of in line when you're thinking through your content, your marketing messaging, and your channel mix to determine what's going to kind of yield the most with conversion and sales that way.
Totally. Thanks, Jess. Tanner is asking, probably me, I can talk to this, but if I can explain influencer collaborations a little more and give an example of an organization that has been successful with influencer marketing. Thank you for asking that. The influencer kind of marketing service that we're offering is very much in its beta phase. What we've found is that we have a Rolodex of influencers and connections to a network of influencers. And what we're doing is getting on calls with our partners and trying to understand what their goals are when it comes to marketing, when it comes to in arena or on-site activations, and what they're trying to achieve in terms of audience audience impressions. So what we're doing is we're taking our network and saying, does this make sense for what you're trying to do? Is this demographic that are these networks and their audiences, the audiences of these influencers, is that a match with what you're trying to achieve here? And if it is, that's great. We kind of make that connection. We kind of talk through what that looks like. And there's a couple ways to go about it, right? I mentioned rewards before, and I think it's just such a kind of obvious tie-in. If you're layering in, let's say, an influencer meet and greet as a reward incentive, right? An incredibly easy way to target a younger demographic, get them out on site, and then kind of Trojan horse them into staying for a game, right? Having a halftime show or a concourse activation that incorporates an influencer or their whatever they're trying to be and do there, and having that audience and their audience come out to a game, which is great. We worked with the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami to tap into our influencer base for their Social Gloves event, where TikTokers and YouTubers kind of duked it out in a boxing match. It made sense. Obviously, that's a very linear tie-in because we had TikTok and YouTube influencers promoting this TikTok and YouTuber event. So essentially what happened there was we activated these influencers. We had probably 300+ million impressions across the board. But it was a super lightweight activation of them just posting about the event, pushing their tickets to buy their own personalized landing page on FEVO. And then the Hard Rock team flew a few influencers on site for the event so that their kind of audience was able to attend and be around them. So that's a cool example, but it's super flexible. The program is kind of, again, in its beta phase. But if you're interested in it and you want to talk more, feel free to reach out.
I'm interested.
Let's do it. Yeah, I mean, I was talking to an NBA team the other day, and they're the ones who are talking through concourse activations. They're advertising heavily on TikTok, and that's just kind of the 5-year plan for them. How do we address this younger demo? How do we meet them where they're at, right? And again, if we're smart about orchestrating it, it's a super lightweight way to tap into that network, right? If it's just a matter of a game ticket, whether if it's a local influencer or some mega kind of superstar thing, right? If it's a ticket to a game or a designated area for a meet and greet, I think it's a pretty effective way to tap into that space.
Yeah, we are actually testing that, and I'd like to follow up with you for a game in November, local influencer meet and greet out of our Dos Equis deck. Nice. And basically, if the influencer posts, they get a piece of the pie, basically from a ticket perspective. But we're definitely want to test that. So I would love to follow up with you and give it a marketing team because we want to launch here in the next.
Now this is just a me and you strategy session.
Yeah, no, I like that because I honestly think this is the next wave of getting that cohort to come to games, and it's also good for the influencer too because they can capture their audience as well, and then they all kind of go to the game together after the meet and greet, which would be great. So I'm hoping that we can launch it and test, and then we can share some of the data with this.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's talk. Awesome. I think that kind of wraps everything up. Is there anything else, last tidbits, last shares, last insights that we want to throw out there?
I'll start us off. And again, thank you, FEVO and team for continuing to bring us great insight, best practices, and sharing to make all of our jobs just a little easier. Our jobs will never be easy because there will be no need for us, but you all have just, at the cadence that you all do this, it's just great. And so one, thank you for that. Number two, for those that are in the collegiate landscape, going back to the social and digital platforms, each of your respective sports and each of your respective teams, they have their own following. And I do know that a lot of times it's from your main athletics page or your ticketing athletics page, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on Facebook or TikTok, that message goes. But for those targeted packages, be sure that those respective sports are complementing and supplementing your efforts by resharing, retweeting, and sending out their direct messages, because it's their audience that we're trying to get to, that may not be in your ecosystem that can complement from an E strategy. They may not even be in your ecosystem, but they're following your team because of the content. They're following your women's program because of the content. And this is the time that those managers of those social contents groups will give us that one or two times to put a message out there that's not experienced, and they'll sell for us. And so do not be afraid to have those groups to assist in getting that message out, especially to those targeted audience.
Sure.
And all the best to everyone that's participating.
Thanks, everyone. For the attendees that are with us still, thanks to everyone for joining us, of course. Look out for a video recap on our socials and our newsletter in the upcoming week. And then again, please reach out to us, me, anyone at FEVO, if you want to jumpstart any of the holiday offers.